Look, I know there's no way I'm going to get out of this hole, but I want to see Parker and Bryant go up the river on this one. It's their fault I'm back in here, and I want to see the bastards pay.
I couldn't give a damn what happens to them. You sure you can handle the freak?
No worries.
Okay. Bryant had the gun. Parker grabbed the kid.
Don't you leave me with her. She'll kill me.
Don't be hysterical.
Listen, she did her old man and she'll do the same to me.
I don't like being clutched, Payne. Okay, Desmond, you can take over. I'll take over.
You leave me alone, or I'll scream.
You won't have time.
Oh!
Hubby's little tart. The freak fed it to me and I've got a score to settle. Now get out, Sonia.
Can't you see that you're being set up? Myra, be smart. Settle things on your own terms, not Ferguson's. All right, play into Ferguson's hands. Go on, kill her. Kill her.
What's your angle, Sonia?
I owed you. Now whisper me.
You'll keep Payne. Not for long. But oh, you'll keep.
That cow. I'll fix her.
Sure you will.
I'll report her. She is not getting away with that.
Here, you lag on anybody and you won't have to wait for Myra to deal with you. They'll be queuing up.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for helping out.
I wasn't helping you, I was helping Myra. Under any other circumstances, I would have stood there and watched.
What are you doing here?
I was just showing the new girl the ropes, Mrs. Morris.
Make your bed and put your things away.
Yes.
Come with me, Stevens.
Sonia Stevens.
Ray Foster here, Sonia. I just rang to pass on my deepest sympathy about Eddie. We were all upset to hear about it.
Yeah, it was a shock to me too, Ray.
Lionel was particularly concerned about your health.
Lionel? Why would he worry about me?
Well, grief can be a traumatic thing, even fatal sometimes. Still, you've got Eddie's mate, Rick Manning, there. We're sure he intends to take care of you.
Oh?
Did you know Manning was the last person to see your husband alive?
No, he didn't mention it.
He's a thoughtful guy. Probably figured you had enough on your mind already. Still, the way we figure it, Manning's out to get you over this, one way or another.
Thank you for your concern.
You take care now.
Yes.
Connie, how you feeling?
I wouldn't be back at work if I wasn't feeling up to it.
Oh, yeah, I just, well, I thought you might be pushing yourself a bit hard, you know, without realizing.
I think that's my business.
If I'd laid a hand on that bitch, Gloria, Ferguson would have had me.
Well, I find it hard to believe that Sonia would protect you from the freak.
She said she owed me a favour.
The only favour she'd ever do would involve a pound of flesh, and it wouldn't be hers.
Hey,
Hey, Jude, there's a Ma and Pa kettle movie on after you. Reckon we could watch it?
No, you only catch 15 minutes of it, love.
Oh, yeah. I used to really like those movies, you know. I reckon it'd be great to have a dozen kids like they did.
Thanks, Mum. I hate big families. They drive me nuts.
What's the language, Mitchell?
Sorry, Mr. Manning.
I thought you were going to try and be a bit more ladylike.
Oh, I am, Mr. Manning. It's a bit hard with all these rough types influencing me, though, isn't it? May I have permission to go to the toilet, please?
Yeah, right. Well, not here, though.
Gee, he's a good sport, isn't he?
Yeah. You know you were talking about big families before, Cass. Well, I reckon you'd make a real good mum.
Yeah, you fat chance, but who'd want an ex-quim? Anyway, Dor, you know, I never had much luck with the fellas.
A bit short on in the bush, were they?
No, they were there all right. But I never knew how to talk to fellas, you know, play up to them a bit and all that. I mean, we'd just wind up yakking about car engines and the footy. Now, what am I going on about it for? No fella would look at me twice as his tractor broke down.
Permission to leave. I had an interesting phone call this morning, Mr. Manning.
Two detectives to interview you, Keen.
Yeah, well, I haven't finished.
You have now.
I hope that bitch sticks by the deal we made and tells the truth.
You really think Reb's silly enough to try and double-cross you?
Well, she's so full of hate, what would she care? All she's got to do is lie, and Cass and I are lumbered with a kidnapping rap.
Yeah, she's vicious, I'll grant you that. Seems her only soft spot is Sarah.
Yeah, some soft spot. She's given her a murder charge, hasn't she? If she was my friend, I'd be watching me back and me front and both me sides.
Wait on.
Oh, hello, Joey. Look at that, isn't he?
Isn't he beautiful?
You got any teeth here?
You'll have to join the queue for a cattle, Bobby. The baby's going to have more godmothers than it can handle.
Won't see me carrying on like that.
Well, there's always the pool table, I suppose.
I reckon kids are a real turn-off. Can't have them, so I don't even see much point in even trying to like them.
Well, don't give up. Might be able to adopt one day. Give some kid a better chance than what you had.
Need a fella to do something like that. I'm weird, remember?
You don't fool me, you know. I reckon you're only pretending.
Hey, Sarah, can I have a little cuddle of him? I won't drop him. I got my own grandson even. Please? Oh, hang on. Oh, what a big boy, huh?
I reckon being away from their own families is about the hardest punishment of all. It's really good of you to let him share you, Joey.
Isn't he sweet?
Joey, I'm your auntie Cass.
Oh, yeah, look at that. He's smiling at me.
Look, I told you. Bryant had Mrs. Morris's gun. I don't argue with guns. Not a hero like you guys.
You want to save the clever stuff for court, Keen? You're going to need it. I think you're telling us a pack of lies.
Yeah, well, that's your problem. Not changing the story just to make you feel better.
Thanks, Mrs. Morris. That's all. For now.
Mrs. Bailey will take you back to the recreation room.
Jeez.
Nasty little piece, that one.
Yes, aren't they all? Well, Mrs. Morris, have you come up with anything about this bus trip that'll confirm or deny Keen's story?
Been over it again and again. There is nothing except
Except what?
Judy Bryant's record. I mean, her work at Driscoll. I just can't believe she'd kidnap or threaten a child.
The court will want facts, not opinions, Mrs. Morris. Unless Keen changes the story, we'll have to charge Bryant and Parker. Off the record, I can't imagine any jury not finding them as guilty as hell.
Don't you worry, little darling. Your mum will be back in a minute. Hey, Cass, would you like a little hold?
Oh, yeah.
You be careful
Here you
here.
go.
Watch his little head, right?
Darling. Oh, hey, you're a real little corker, aren't you?
Oh, Cass, you're a natural.
You know, I reckon if I had one of my own, it'd be great.
Oh, what about all those nappies you'd have to wash?
Yes, and dragging yourself out of bed at 3 in the morning.
I wouldn't mind none of that. Honest, I wouldn't.
You don't mind taking risks with your kid, do you?
What do you mean?
Cass, she's up on a kidnapping charge right now. And she's murdered 3 people. She can't help herself.
Yeah, I'll take him. Yeah, sure. There you go, little fella. You're glad to be back home with your mum.
Don't touch him. I don't want you ever to touch him.
Well, Sarah, I didn't do nothing. didn't do nothing.
Come on, Cass. Back to the grindstone. Oh, hey, Cass, come on. You're not going to let that get you down, are you?
Oh, geez, I'd never hurt little Joey, Mr. Manning. You don't think that, do you?
No, of course I don't. But I mean, you've got to look at it from Sarah's side. I mean, you just think how you'd feel if you thought someone might be a risk to your baby. I'm sure once she gets to know you, she'll change her mind.
Yeah, you're right, Mr. Manning. I'm just being a big sook.
Would you like to lean on that mop there, Burnsy, just to remind us you're part of the workforce?
Oh, just on my way, Mr. Manning.
Yeah, you can take Cass with you.
Mind if I ask a question, Mr. Manning?
That depends.
Well, I found out that you're having all your meals here now, and that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, eating garbage when you don't have to.
Oh, maybe I just don't like eating alone. Back to work.
You really like him, don't you, Cass?
Yeah.
How would you like it if I drew a picture of him for you?
Oh, cut it out, dog!
See?
You've been very quiet about your interview with the boys in blue.
Yeah, that's my business.
It's Cass and Judy's business, too. You did the right thing.
Told the truth? Satisfied?
I hope I will be, Keen. For your sake.
What do you mean you told the bloody truth? Relax, I stuck to our story. Everything in order here?
Yes, Mrs. Powell.
Quota up to date, is it?
Oh, a bit behind, but nothing to worry about.
Good.
Mrs. Powell, we'd like to offer our sympathy.
I appreciate that. But I'd prefer that you concentrated on filling the quota. Come on, keep on. Well, that's bloody typical.
Oh, geez, all you said was you felt sorry for her.
Oh, come on. Unless you've been through something like that, you've got no idea what she's feeling. Better throw up a few brick walls, otherwise you go under.
Mind if I do in here, Mrs. Powell? Mrs. Bailey told me to.
No, all right.
We all signed it, Mrs. Powell. We're real sorry about everything that happened.
Thank you. Gonna take all day doing this, eh?
Oh, no, sorry.
What do you think you're doing?
Oh, they're dirty. I was just going to wash up.
Yeah, all right. Oh, well, don't take all day over it. Get on with it.
All right, Mrs. Morris, let's have Bryant in.
Not exactly a master criminal.
Don't it be a genius to have 3 dead bodies on your record?
What?
Sit down, Bryant.
So, what sort of story has Keen been feeding you?
Oh, you're here to answer questions, Bryant, not to ask them. Well, would you like to alter your previous statement?
Why should I? It's the truth. Look, Cass and I would have never left that bus if Phyllis hadn't taken that gun and run off with that kid.
The gun has your prints on it, Bryant.
I know, I took it from her. I was trying to stop her from hurting someone.
She says she took it from you, and Keen is an eyewitness.
She's a bloody bitch. Can't you see it's a setup?
Frankly, no, Bryant. You see, where your story wanders off into fairyland is your claim that with 2 previous escape attempts on your record that you would have stayed voluntarily in that bus.
Reckon you and Parker better start packing your bags. Can't imagine any jury believing it either.
You better enjoy your last few weeks here in this cosy joint. If you're found guilty, you're probably going to get another 10 years. And nowadays, escapees are being sent to the new high-security prison at Blackmore. I'm sure you've heard of Blackmore.
Pity, though, because it was real good stuff.
You sure it was Pal's?
Oh, I reckon. You should have seen the way she jumped when she thought I was going to tip it out.
Poor bitch, nothing. I hope she chokes him.
Shut up, creep.
I couldn't have picked a better name myself. Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm here has backed up her little mate. Cass and I have been charged.
Go on, Jude.
It could mean a trip to Blackmore.
Struth, the black hole?
Is it like we've heard, Myra?
Much worse, Cass. You lied to us, Keane.
So what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to persuade you both to tell the truth. Not one of you, mind you, but both of you.
Yeah, well, you got 2 chances, and one of them's Buckley's.
Oh, I didn't say it'd be easy. I knew a copper once. He had a saying whenever he put the thumb on crims. He used to say you can make this as easy on yourself or as hard on yourself as you like. He also said that there was a pain barrier. By the time I finished with you, you'll be able to tell us what it is.
Mind if I have a bit of a hold?
Yeah, all right.
Careful now. Chunky little bugger, isn't he? Hey, what do you reckon about Wentworth, Joey? Oh.
Ooh. I think you've been christened.
Know what, Joey? That's what I reckon about Wentworth too.
Yeah, well, you keep your comments to yourself. Joey, we can forgive. I'll have a chat to Cass. I think she's a bit down. Okay. I've got something you might be interested in. Oh, how much is it going to cost me? Free of charge.
Still got plans for Gloria?
Maybe.
You know, of course, that she shouldn't be here. She's witness for the prosecution in your case. Now do you understand about Ferguson's plan?
Oh, I could get off with manslaughter, but not if I fix Gloria.
Exactly. I came out here for some fresh air.
What was she peddling? A bit of free advice. Really?
I'd be careful if I were you.
I don't know, Jude.
Just taking Joey in to get some dry duds. See you in there.
Okay.
I'll give you a hand.
Hang in there, Cass. Once Sarah gets to know you, you'll be #1 babysitter.
Thanks, Mr. Manning.
Hi, Cass. Cop that. Oh, I did it for you.
Oh, hey, look, don't tell the others, will you?
I've never dobbed a mate yet, Cass.
They'll only laugh at me.
Yeah, well, you just shove it under your mattress.
Hiya. What's up?
Those two. How do we get them to tell the truth? That's the $65,000 question.
Really? Well, the only way you can make a rat squeal is to stomp on it.
Oh, now, hang on. Look, I don't want to go to Blackmore, and I want them to tell the truth as much as anybody, but I don't want no one getting hurt.
Yeah, okay, it's not my style either, but we might not have a choice.
No, Cass is right, Jude. There is another way.
Yeah, go on.
Well, the weasel's easy enough. She'll crack if Reb does. And Reb's got one weak spot. Sarah and little Joey.
Oh, hey, Myra, you wouldn't touch Sarah and the baby.
Oh, of course I wouldn't, love. But Reb doesn't know that.
What do you reckon those slobs have got planned? I'm scared. I've got the best muscle in Wentworth on me, so... Hey, rack off. That's for me and Phil. Now keep that big mouth of yours shut, Burns. Someone might smack it for you. What's going on?
Well, Phyllis reckons that she's got backup if you give her any trouble. Real muscles, she says.
Yeah, that's wishful thinking. Unless it's the freak. Could explain the switcheroo of the dorms.
Freak's got a score to settle with Reb. That could be the deal. Phyllis fixes Reb and gets protection in return.
Well, how come they're so matey then?
Yeah, well, whatever it is, it's going to be twice as hard to get the truth out of them. Especially if they think they got the freak on side.
Yeah, well, whose side do you reckon Sonia's on?
Hers.
Stevens? The governor's given you permission to go to Eddie's funeral.
No, thank you. I'm not a hypocrite. What about you? You were his best friend.
I can't make it.
What, are you nervous about some of his friends? Maybe some of them knew that you were the last person to see him alive.
I told you that.
What does it matter if it's true? Look, Eddie's dead. A lot of people are dead because of your little girlfriend.
mention her one more time, Mitchell.
It's all right, Mrs. Morris. It was my fault. Mr. Manning was just reprimanding me for something I just said. Touchy, isn't he?
When you've finished your rounds, I think we'd better have a talk. Oh, come in. I'm glad I caught you.
What's up?
We need to get something in for dinner. Well, anything will do. Do you mind?
No, of course I don't. I won't be going straight back to the flat, though. I want to get home and start sorting some things out.
Really,
I have to face it sooner or later, don't I? I'll be right. Good night.
Well, Mrs. Morris, it's been a long day.
Oh, well, it's nothing new at Wentworth.
How's Sonia Stevens taking your husband's death?
Pretty well, considering. I think he meant more to her than she lets on.
We all know what Sonia is, but, well, Eddie was a mate of mine, and I'd like to have a word with her. Do the right thing. Would that be okay?
I don't see why not. The interview room's being used at the moment, though. Well, you could have a word with her outside. I'll arrange it.
Thanks, Mrs. Morris.
I'll wait for you in the car.
Shame about Eddie. Just when he'd seen the light, too.
Look, what do you want with me?
Well, we both knew blew Eddie away, don't we?
So?
Rick Manning's playing hard to get. He eats here, he sleeps here. We owe Manning for Eddie. That's the way Lionel feels.
Well, you can tell Lionel to leave me out of it.
He'll do the job for us, baby.
You go to hell.
I'll give you 3 good reasons why. First, Manning might decide you know too much, but you would already figured that one for yourself. Second, you get rid of Manning and Lionel will get you out of Wentworth. And third, if you don't cooperate, we might just include you in the contract.
How do I know you're on the level? Fellows could easily dispose of me, whether I do his dirty work for him or not.
Sit down. Close. There's no trust left in the world, Sonia. It's a sad thing. I said you had 3 choices. You're right. You've only got 1.
How'd I do it?
Cyanide. Guaranteed to drop an ox. Get into the kitchen, make sure it goes into his meal. We can count on you, can't we?
Tell Lionel it'll be a pleasure.
Cup of coffee?
I'll get mine.
Meg, don't make a big deal of that thing with Stevens. You don't even know what it was about.
Yeah, but I do know a good officer doesn't lose his temper with the women.
Yeah, all right. I was just warning her off, okay? Look, I've got enough on my plate without you hassling me as well.
I know you're up to your neck in this police business, and what you do outside of here is your affair. But when it starts to affect the way you treat the women, then it becomes my affair too. Now, if I see you giving them a hard time again, I'm afraid I'm going to have to report it to the governor.
Yeah. Well, you just do what you have to do.
So, when did they lock us up for the night? Got about another half an hour yet.
Hey, I'm glad they put me in with you, Bobby.
Yeah? Well, you just better not bloody snore.
Oh, I'm sure I don't.
Reckon there'd be plenty of blokes who could tell you if you did. Sonia's always tarting herself up.
Yeah. Don't know why she bothers.
Hey, you could have made the most of your looks. Oh, it's the only way you get a fella.
Nah, seems like a waste of time to me.
I knew it would be.
You won't be so smart, Keen, when they make you tell the truth about a kid and a gun.
Told them all I'm gonna tell them.
Judy and Mara might change the tune on that one rep.
Try.
Should have fixed her up that time you laid her out.
Now, you just cut that out. You know how I feel about killing.
How many have you killed? 3. She wasn't even trying, were you, Cass?
No, I mean, what
Hey,
she
you
means...
don't have to explain nothing to her. Back off, Gloria. Come on, Cass.
Well, Stevens, who are you making yourself beautiful for?
Certainly not for you, Miss Ferguson, so don't get your hopes up.
Have you seen the Webster woman's baby yet? It's a dear little thing, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't know you liked babies, Miss Ferguson. I thought you preferred dogs. That's right, yours had an accident, didn't it? Lionel was wondering you might like a repeat of that little trip. I was talking to his right-hand man today. Lionel's decided to take an interest in my welfare.
Why would Lionel Fellows give a damn about the likes of you?
Oh, that's right. Didn't you know that my dearly departed husband used to work for him? Lionel believes in looking after his own. Since Eddie's gone, he feels he should take care of me.
That won't do you any good in here.
Oh, but it will, Miss Ferguson. Well, you know what Lionel's like. He's got contacts everywhere. He'd soon hear if somebody was bothering me. And his men still make house calls.
Sounds like a lot of bluff to me. You know, Stevens, I think you're still mentally deranged. You're imagining things.
Perhaps. But you can't be sure, can you?
Well, you sure know how to handle her, don't you?
Years flapping, were they?
Couldn't help overhearing.
Well, you don't know how dangerous it is overhearing somebody else's conversation.
Hey, I was just hoping maybe we could be friends.
People earn my friendship.
So how do I do that?
Well, if I need you, I'll let you know. Goodbye.
I'm sorry, Meg. Dreadful mess.
It's all right.
I was going home, having to pack up their things.
You should have let me do it for you.
I had to do it.
This isn't going to help.
It's all right.
I'd say that in the morning.
Thanks for being around.
Come on. Go and get some sleep. We've both got to work in the morning.
They keep telling me that time's going to heal everything. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Hi, Miss O'Regan.
G'day, Mrs. A.
Oh, not you again, Burns. Well, you just better behave yourself.
Oh, I'm a reformed character, Mrs. O.
You two can wash the breakfast dishes.
Oh, why the breakfast lot do that, Miss
I'm
O'Regan?
telling you to do them. And you two can start cutting up vegetables for lunch. And no nonsense.
Oh, we'll be regular angels, Mrs. A.
That's right.
Yeah, can't you see our halos shining?
All I want to see shining is those pots. Now get a move on, all of you.
Hi, Mr. Manning.
Oh, hi.
Those workmen going to be out there all day?
Yeah, most of it. They've still got quite a bit of wiring to do.
Oh, well, as long as they're not going to be trooping in and out of my kitchen.
No, I don't think they'll have to come in here at all, Mrs. A.
Then what are you doing here?
I thought I'd get a glass of milk.
Oh, get yourself one. You and your milk. I've had to start ordering extra since you've been here.
Must be a country bloke, Mr. Manning. City blokes usually drink beer.
Oh, yeah, a lot of good things come from the country, Bobby. What have you done to yourself?
What do you mean?
Your hair. A real improvement.
Just couldn't be bothered mucking around with it this morning, that's all.
Oh.
Hey, don't forget I'm from the country too, Mr. Manning.
Yeah, well, I'm not really from the country there, Cass. I had a friend that was, though.
Oh, yeah? What part did you come from?
A Chuka. No, it wasn't a he, it was a she.
Oh, girlfriend.
Yeah. Pretty special, too, but I lost her.
Oh,
Parker, you're supposed to be washing up.
oh yes, Miss O'Regan.
And I'll thank you, Mr. Manning, not to come in here disturbing my helpers.
Oh, come on, Mrs. A. You know it makes your day when I come in here.
Oh, don't talk nonsense. Off you go.
Ah, she's a nice fella.
He's got more cheek than an up.
Any dirty linen, Mrs. O'Regan?
There's always plenty of that. Payne, give her a hand.
Meet me in the shower block at 11. What? Well, you still want to be my friend, don't you? Say you have to go to the toilet at 11 o'clock, and I'll see you there.
Now, where have I put my order book?
What do you want with that? Stealing an order book ought to be good for extra 2 weeks. What do you reckon?
For heaven's sake, I'm sure I left it here somewhere.
Oh, I wonder where it is, eh?
How are you coping this morning?
Try and understand about last night, will you? I'm sorry, but yesterday everything just seemed to get on top of me. Having to face the women, cards here when I arrived. Especially the one Doreen gave me from them.
It's probably the worst possible time to go home and try and pack things up.
Yes, I suppose it was. Also, I didn't feel that there was anything worth living for.
Oh, you're not to think like that.
I don't want to think at all. At least that's where the booze helps.
You know that's not the answer, or not in the long term.
No.
The hardest part's over now. Being back at work will help you take your mind off things.
I just wish Anne had let me back full time.
She just doesn't want to put you under too much of a strain.
The strain's filling in the hours from morning till night.
I see. Well, I'll speak to her. See how quickly she can put you back onto full-time duty.
Oh, Mick, would you? Thanks. And for putting up with me 24 hours a day.
I'm glad of the company. Can get lonely there.
Getting to learn what that's all about.
Hey, but you do get used to it. See you.
Desmond, you should be at work.
Nature called, Miss Ferguson.
Put that cigarette out.
It's an official smoko.
Oh, we're playing the heavy union boss now, are we?
I might just have to.
One thing the PRG taught me was that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. I think it's about time someone round here started making a noise and getting the women a fairer deal. I would have thought your main concern was keeping your nose clean until your trial. You'd be very foolish to make waves, Desmond. Now put that out and get to work.
Yes, Miss Ferguson.
Well, Ferguson looked like the cat that just swallowed the cream.
Oh, she thinks she just walked over me with her hobnail boots. Takes more than her type to get through my hide.
Good.
Your hide seems to have thickened up too.
Yes, I'm back in control now. That's the way I like it.
I know it was here earlier, Mr. Manning, but now I can't find it anywhere.
Well, I don't see how I can help, Mrs. O.
Well, I'm beginning to suspect foul play.
Have a gander at this, Mr. Manning. Don't you reckon I got some real talent?
Yeah, it's great. Now, look, has anyone seen Mrs. O'Regan's order book thing?
Oh, what would anyone want with that unless they could forge Mrs. O'Regan's name?
Yeah, you could do that, couldn't you, Dor? You're a forger.
Oh, yeah. So I am.
Okay, Julians.
Oh, gee, Mr. Manning. You've caught me red-handed.
Here it is, Mrs. O'Regan. Vern's found it for you.
Oh, thanks, Doreen. Where was it?
Just tucked out of sight down there under the veggies.
Oh, well, thank goodness I've got it back. There'd have been real trouble if I hadn't.
Close shave, Bernsey. If you'd been caught, you'd have to spend an extra couple of weeks in here.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't want that, would we?
Hope I haven't got too many split shifts.
Yes, you do have a couple. Anne only wants me to work part-time at the moment, so it's putting you all under a bit of pressure, I'm sorry.
Not to worry.
Rather double the shifts than half them. Well, didn't you want to keep busy when your father was in trouble?
Being here hardly helped under the circumstances.
No, of course not. And I suppose it must be hard being around Keane all the time.
She's just another prisoner. They're all as bad as one another.
That's not quite true.
Huh? What about Bryant? She was a trustee, and what does she do? At the first opportunity, she grabs an officer's gun and holds a child hostage.
Well, Meg told me Bryant and Parker's side of the story, and I think they're telling the truth.
I would have thought you'd be the last person to take the word of a crim. After what's happened to you, I would have thought you would realise just what animals you're dealing with.
It had nothing to do with these women.
But it was done by criminals, just like this lot. I will never forgive them for what they did to my father. And look at you, your whole family gone.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
You just leave it, will you?
I said 11 o'clock.
Hey, it's only a bit past.
Listen, lady, if you want to work with me, then you've got to learn to do exactly what I say.
Yeah, well, that old biddy in the kitchen made me finish what I was doing before I could leave. What do you want to see me about anyway?
I've got a job for you.
Like what?
Make sure Manning gets this. Break it into his food or drink.
What is it?
Something that will make him go to the toilet.
Now, why would you want to do that?
Well, as my husband is dead, he seems to think that I'm available.
Charming.
Yes, that should keep him busy for quite a while.
What if they check it out?
Why would they? Everybody gets the trots now and then.
I don't know. I'm not in for long. I don't want to do anything that's going to give me any extra time.
Listen, lady. You're in long enough for Ferguson or Desmond to fix you. I handle both of them. Now, are you going to help me or not?
Yeah.
Good. Now make sure Manning, and only Manning, gets it. If several people got sick, then they would become suspicious.
You sure it won't make him really sick?
Trust me.
Yeah. All right.
What the hell's your father doing? Looking for cigarettes.
Darling, tell him to hurry up, will you? He knows he's got to leave plenty of time to get you kids to school on Mr. Manning's car. Even if he can get it started.
Yeah, right.
Oh, listen, his cigarettes are here. I'll give up.
you, Burns?
Oh, well, your father got real crook, didn't he? That's why you had to go away, eh?
I have no intention of discussing my family with the likes of you.
Oh, I had an auntie who got real crook. Real sad. Here one day, gone the next.
Burns, aren't you supposed to be in the kitchen?
Oh, yeah, I was going to the loo.
Well, go. You know, Burns, I have heard that you got yourself put back in here on purpose this time, and you're angling for an extra couple of weeks. I'll try any of your tricks on me, and your stay here will be permanent. Where have you been?
The loo.
Is there anyone left in the kitchen?
Yeah, I'm going back now.
I'll move it.
You know, you got a real way about you, Miss Ferguson. I don't know how this place would run without you. I know a few people who'd like to find out, though.
You're doing a good job.
Who gives a bugger?
Me? I meant Bryant and Parker, not the floors. You and Phyllis stick to your stories and they'll probably end up in Blackmore.
We're not changing a thing.
Good. Wasn't a terribly successful escape, was it?
To rub my nose in it. It's bad luck, that's all.
Not to mention bad management. Not only got yourself back in here, but your friend, too.
Yeah, didn't want that to happen. Sarah was a mate.
Well, we can't afford to have any chinks in the armour, can we?
Got no chinks, lady. Number one, that's all I care about. That Rakoff. There's enough dirt in this room.
Can't really blame the butt, though, losing a family and everything.
Yeah, but that stuff's no good for her.
Oh, I know. I think we should take it off her for her very own sake.
Reckon you're right. Yeah. I mean, Mrs. Powell could really get in a strike, couldn't she, if they found she had that on her?
Oh, she'd be out of the job in a flash.
Yeah. Looks like it's up to us to make sure she doesn't get caught with it.
Right. So leave it to me.
Hey, you know that officer?
Mr. Manning?
Yeah, him. Where does he eat?
Staff room, I suppose most of the officers do. Why?
I don't know, just wondering.
Funny thing to be wondering about.
Where's Mrs. Regan?
Oh, she's checking the delivery out the back. Can we help you, Mrs. Powell?
It's just a routine round.
Oh, what are you doing?
Oh, she naked.
No.
You sure?
No, it's okay.
Oh, Mrs. Powell, they're waiting for you in reception.
Sorry, I forgot the time.
Oh, hey, Mrs. Powell, you better have this back. I mean, we wouldn't want you getting caught with it, so I put it in a safer place in your pocket, eh?
I just confiscated that. How dare you take it?
Well, we didn't want you getting into strife with, like, Miss Ferguson or anyone.
Just think yourselves lucky you're not in a charge.
Oh, you silly bugger.
Yeah, what'd you do that for? It was the real stuff.
Oh, no, hang on. I thought we was trying to help her.
Oh, gee.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Forget it.
Can you move on? We're behind schedule.
Get the door, Mrs.
Right.
O. Here we go.
You reckon this pudding's going to be okay?
Yeah, looks right to me.
My mum used to make a pudding nearly as big as this at home.
Was that the lunch bell?
Oh, yes, Mr. Manning.
Better get a move on then.
Oh, hey, Mr. Manning, now don't forget your milk. Got it all ready for you in the fridge.
Oh, thanks, Kaz. I don't have time.
Oh, I only take a tick.
Hey, look, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Those blokes out there,
Yeah, Mr. Manning, that's what keep you going.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then.